Right, I think it's in process. Hi, everyone. My name is Jason. I'm the owner and managing partner of Camps with Friends. We are a online summer camp and after-school enrichment activity directory where we help parents search and explore and research all sorts of businesses that are in the summer camp industry, and so they can sort of help. We can help them make informed decisions about where they're going to send their kids for the summer. And in today's partner spotlight, we're talking to Brandon from Stephen Cates. So Brandon, why don't you take it from here and tell us all about what and who Stephen Cates is?
Awesome. Thank you, Jason. Thanks for having us. Hi, everyone. My name is Brandon. I am a site director for Stephen Cates Camp. We are a nationwide program that, as simple as it is, put kids in charge. They're in the driver's seat every single day. By that, we have all these amazing activities, all these amazing choices, and kids get to pick and choose where they want to go and how they want to spend their day. Completely up to them. And besides that, we have nothing but flexibility for those parents and guardians. Our reservation process, I'll explain a little bit later, how our day passes work, our summer passes. It is as easy as you can get.
That's great. Brandon, why don't you sort of give us a better understanding about, what's your concept? Are you a sleepaway camp? Are you a day camp? Are you a drop-off
Got you.
location? And then, which locations precisely, like what parts of the country? There are 22,000 cities, but I'm sure you're not in all 22,000 cities. So give us a little bit of a input on that.
Yeah. I can start from the very beginning. Company was founded in 1980 by Steve, joined a little bit later by Kate, and they started in Mill Valley, ran there for 16 years, and it was solely a summer day camp. Then they joined Bright Horizons a little bit later, and this past summer we hosted 55 different camps all throughout the nation. And that is from California to New York and everything in between. You can find all the locations online on our website. But we hope to plan more every single day. Every single year, we hope to add more. Besides summer, we now have break camps, winter, spring, and certain locations as well. We are a 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. camp, and that's all of our locations. So we stay very standard with that, as well as meals are included, lunch, snack. Make it very easy. Sorry, what was the other parts of the question?
Yeah, so for parents who don't know, do you have your own locations? Do they, or
Got you.
where are these day camps?
Yep. So they vary with all the different locations that we have. What we do is rent different campuses, schools, different centers. And for our locations that are historic, that have been around there forever, they usually use the same schools, same locations. But with new places being added, things changing, to find the most recent locations that we have, definitely check our website. Like I mentioned, we had 55 last year, hoping to add even more. So they do change, but we do have some of those historic sites that have been there for years and years.
Great. And what states are you currently in?
That is a long list.
Oh, it is long list.
I think as of now, it is 13 different states plus
Okay.
DC.
Oh, okay, that's cool. So 50 odd different cities, 13 states, and you're primarily in like schools or churches or these
Yep.
sort of rental facilities.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's cool. What does a typical day look like for a camper that kind of comes to Stephen Cates?
Yeah. Our philosophy is when you trust kids, they trust themselves. And a typical day is a hard question to answer because you can have those campers that want to be outside all day long. Soccer is their thing, football is their thing, basketball, whatever sport it may be, just being outside, nature. You can have those campers that love arts and crafts, campers that love robotics, sewing. We have so many different activities. It's hard to explain what a typical day looks like per se.
Yeah.
I guess the rundown would be our drop off period, 8 a.m. to 9:30 at most locations. 9:30 to 12, and this is all kind of general, is our morning activity period where we give tours to all of our campers so they know where everything is, from the restrooms, snack areas if they need support, to where all of our classrooms are, our bakery, for example, where the outdoor spaces are. That takes place from around 9:30 to 11, that morning activity period where campers kind of get a taste of where everything is for those new campers. For those campers that are returners, I mean, they jump right in. They know where they want to go. I want to be the first person in line for the sewing machine, so forth and so on.
Yeah.
Then we have our lunchtime. Lunch is included. We work with several restaurants and caterers in the area to provide a rotating menu every day. Besides that, we partnered with Panera last summer, which was amazing. So we had soup, sandwich, bagel available. And then you have that classic cheese pizza, which we always have available for us. What kid doesn't love cheese pizza?
Yeah.
After lunch, that afternoon activity period, which is kind of the same as the morning, but something added could be our daily special, which every day we try to bring something new in besides all the amazing things we have, like a jumper, bounce house, a magician, a musician. It could really vary per site what that director is bringing in. And then we usually start pickup around 3:30, but our activities are still going on and we end camp at 6. So
Right.
that's the general day. But
Yeah.
what the campers are doing, I mean, it can vary per camper, per site. There's so many different activities that you get to choose from. Some activities can last multiple days. Creating a music video, for example,
Yeah.
or just learning how to sew can take a couple minutes. I mean, it is so different, but
Yeah.
I think that's what makes it really fun.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're obviously not the traditional residential sleepaway
That's
summer
right.
camp. You're probably catering to a parent who maybe has to work through the summer and
Hmm.
wants to drop their kid off at their local school or something close to their house, and that's
Yep.
convenient for the parents so they can maybe go out, do what they need to do, or go to work or whatever the case is, right?
Yep, I say on top of that, with how our day passes work, they are good for every location. So if you are traveling for vacation, traveling for work, whatever it may be, and you live in one location and there happens to be a Stephen Kate at the other place you're going to, those day passes do carry over. So at my site specifically, which was Costa Mesa last summer, we had a ton of international campers because obviously you have Disneyland right down the street. So we had a lot of new families every single day, every single week. Then we had those campers that are there every single day. So it can really vary what kind of customers that you get, whether they're there for just one day out of the summer or the full summer.
Right. Can you tell us a little bit about your, selection process for your sort of counselors and things like that, or do you have people coming back? Like, who do you
Yeah,
typically look for?
yeah. I think the main goal is to always have those returners that are superstars. And for most sites, you have those returners, but we have sites that are different locations every year, sites that are added every year. So with staff, we really branch out wide. We try to look for people with experience with childcare. Obviously, they have to hit all the state level requirements. We hit background check, CPR, first aid, AED. Besides all of that, the training that we go through, it is long. It is a lot of in person, online. We try to get together as many times as we can with everyone prior to summer, but they are prepared day one by the time they get there.
Right. And you said you guys have now started introducing things like winter camp, spring break camp, Thanksgiving
That's
camp,
right.
et cetera, right on top of just your
Hmm.
summer. And then typically speaking, obviously it's going to vary, California to Florida to,
Hmm.
the country, but your summer season is typically when?
That depends on most likely what the school calendar is in that area. Um, I would say June to August is usually the pretty good chunk that hits everyone, but some start even earlier, some end earlier, some go further. It really depends we really try to stay towards whatever the school calendar is in that area.
Right. And remind us quickly, what was your specific location?
I has been overseeing our Orange County location for the past few summers. So that was Costa Mesa this past summer and Irvine the year before.
Great. What kind of things can campers look forward to in your areas for the upcoming camps? Like
Yeah, yeah.
your location specifically.
Yeah. So I'll kind of go just general because with
Yeah.
my specific uh, location specifically, all of our Stephen Kate locations are pretty much have the same activities, have the same materials. It's going to be that daily special and the meals that are probably different, as well as how everything is set up, obviously. Um, but some of the amazing things that we have, stop motion animation, where they can basically create stop motion videos. It is amazing all the different things that they get to come up with. Very, very funny stuff. They can learn how to sew. We have sewing machines with staff prepared to show them. They have to pass a test, safety test first, prove that they're able to do the ins and outs. And that's for as young as 4 years old. to as old as 12 years old, which is where our normal age bracket is. So yeah, even a 4-year-old can learn Hasso. It is pretty amazing how they pick it up so fast.
Yeah.
We have coding, robotics. There's a bakery, which is one of my favorite places because, of course, I always get the extra cookies that don't make it to the end. Tinker Lab, kind of like our STEAM activity. And then, as I mentioned, those daily specials. So things that I like to bring to my camp are slip and slides. We get some water play, especially with that Orange County heat. Luckily, we have indoor and outdoor, as most of our locations do. Musicians, magicians. We had a really cool experience with the Newport Animal Shelter. It is different every single year. I try to add bigger and better things. Being fairly new to the area, it was fun getting to meet a lot of the local organizations around here as well.
That's really great. Well, it sounds like Stephen Cates is really, it's not just helping obviously parents and members of the community, right, with things like daycare, but also you're obviously helping the kids out, learn new skills, be more social, get outside, all these sort of valuable things that the kids are needing today. Have you seen any sort of noticeable what's the word I'm looking for? Like success stories of kids who maybe come there that were struggling, and by the end of the week or by the end of the summer, just rocking.
Oh yeah. There's one this past summer that you asked me the question, I thought of right away. He was an international camper, but the plan was to stay with us all summer long. Oh, wow. Very, very young, and English was his second language. Now, day one was those day one tears, as you normally get at camp. And it made it very difficult because we couldn't speak the language he was speaking. Try to use Google Translate. That doesn't always work the best. He ended up staying with us, but he was very isolated. Didn't really talk to anyone, no matter we tried or not. So we kept an eye on him. Blocks were his big thing. Let him play with his blocks. Kind of try different things throughout the day. Luckily, later that week, we have some other campers come, and they happened to speak the same language, which was amazing. And boom, right away, you can just tell he just felt more comfortable. Started opening up more. Those campers didn't come back and stay with us the whole summer, but just that little bit of comfortability started to have him branch out. Our staff started to learn a little bit of the language. He came from crying in the mornings, not wanting to be dropped off, to crying at the end of the day and not wanting to leave. And I think that is my favorite thing to tell parents. If they do have those younger campers or older campers that might be struggling to get dropped off, and you see those waterworks, is I promise you they're going to cry that they're not going to want to leave at the end of the day. Because since I ran a lot of different camps, and I think what makes it so special here is you as the child are in charge. There's not a lot of opportunities for a 4-year-old to say, hey, I want to do this, and be able to actually do it. And on top of those things, I mean, a 4-year-old could bake a cookie, sew a pillow, and create a music video all in one day. I mean, what other place can do that? Yeah. I don't think there's many. Yeah. So it definitely, I think our structure in itself, putting kids in charge, letting them fail and learn from that, really makes us different than other camps, and really gives that sense of comfortability from the beginning, since you're not being forced really to do anything you don't want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's super cool, and it sounds like a lot of fun, and it's definitely a great service that you guys are offering local communities. So I know that for example, so I'm close to Dallas in Texas, and I know that your Dallas location has just opened up here recently. So I know that that's going to help out the community quite a lot. If people want to get hold of Stephen Cates, if they're looking to find out if Stephen Cates is sort of local to them, where can they go and do that?
Yeah, our website's going to be the main place, StephenCatesCamp.com. There, it's very simple to use. On the top, you'll see summer locations, break locations. Click on one of those. States pop down. Click on the state, and hopefully there's a location near you. There's an FAQ page there. Our email list, very highly recommended to sign up for that. You can put your preferred location. We'll notify you right away when there's any updates. Registration is open, so forth and so on. But StephenCatesCamp.com, that's the place to go.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, Brandon, thanks very much for chatting with us today. Is there anything that you want to leave parents with?
Yeah, I would say, the flexibility itself, I mentioned it earlier before. We are not like most summer camps where you have to reserve months in advance. We have to reserve a day in general. I like to use an analogy of a amusement park ticket. If you have the ticket, you can show up anytime. You don't need to let them know. It's exactly the same flexibility we give you all. If you have a day pass, we will never not allow you into camp. That's at any of our locations. And like I mentioned, the day passes do transfer over to different locations. And on top of that, we have a summer pass. One summer pass, full access, all locations, all summer. So very flexible, lunch is provided. Basically, a lot less things you have to worry about for the summer.
Awesome. Well, all right, Brandon, hang around when I stop record. Obviously, parents can find you on campswithfriends.com as well as at stephenkatescamp.com, right? And
that's right.
And then, yeah, so stick around afterwards and we'll finish up the conversation. Thanks to all the parents who are watching this on social media or places like YouTube. And we're look forward to bringing you the next video. All right, bye.